Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game, man. I noticed it just appears to me that over the past 4 to 5 years, it seemed like it's been really an attempt to really come after Ice Cube. It just seemed like they've been trying to find a way to get him, whether it be the Dim and Dummies, whether it just be, just other people. But it just appears that they've been really coming after Ice Cube from when it was first announced that he was going to start his Big Three basketball league, which I covered the Big Three a couple of times. I didn't get a chance to cover it this year. And then also, you've been kind of hearing some things behind the scenes that possibly the Big Three is in jeopardy, basically shutting down, which I hope that doesn't happen, because I actually like the Big Three. But you've just seen a lot of attempts to go after Ice Cube, and also his most, before this situation right now and this opportunity, I guess you could say, that happened now. Keep in mind, the media went after Ice Cube also for basically his stance on not wanting to take the potion. Now, in case you guys don't know, Ice Cube said no to a movie with Jack Black that was going to pay him approximately $8 million. They wanted Ice Cube to take the potion, and he basically refused, and he walked away from the project. And of course, you had Saturday Night Live. You had the house Negro Kenan Thompson and Michael Chi basically taking shots at Ice Cube. But the funny thing is, Ice Cube did more in his life than those dudes ever will do. Ice Cube did accomplish more in his life than those two clowns together will ever accomplish. Platinum rapper, hit movies, hit TV shows. But yeah, Ice Cube has done a lot of things. I say Ice Cube has done more good than he's done bad. At the end of the day, when you work in that industry, like I said before, you cannot be 100% fully militant, pro, super black. You just can't. But at the end of the day, Ice Cube has shown signs that he's rocking with us. Now, the micro critiquers don't come on here and find something wrong, because that's what they do. And at the end of the day, I pay you guys no mind who just come here and try to counter something that I'm saying, to try to come with a weak talking point and say, but however, I ain't even paying attention to y'all. I ain't even giving you the time of the day. Anybody come here with that, I'm just going to erase your comment. So how's that? Like I said, you're going to be ignored, because y'all do know I'll look in the comment section. But like I said, he's done a lot of good things. In Hollywood, he placed and gave work to a lot of black actors, and for the most part, he put them in roles where they didn't extremely have to compromise themselves. Because compared to what's going on now, yeah. And you know what I mean by completely compromise themselves, on the big screen. But now you have this thing. Now, it was announced that Ice Cube was going to partner up with the NFL, because the NFL has agreed to help Ice Cube, and they're going to allegedly put up $100 million to try to, shorten the wealth gap between who and the black community. And that's a word that seemed to be taboo this day, because for some reason you can't say the word black anymore. You got to say the word person of color. And I've said this before, I'm not no damn person of color. Because if I say black people, somebody try to correct me, I'm going to correct them. And if I have to get a little ignorant about it, I will. I'm not no person of color. But I'll get to that later. Now, it appears that some people from a certain community seem to have a problem with this, because they went back almost 31 years to a song Ice Cube put out called Black Korea. Okay? And I heard the song. It was from his classic album, Death Certificate. And basically at that time, there was a lot of tension going on between the Asian and the black community. That was the same year where, if I'm not mistaken, there was a black girl who got into an argument with a Asian store owner, and you know, they got into it. She punched her a couple of times, and then when she turned her back, the lady grabbed the, you know what I'm saying, you know, grabbed the jammy, and you know what I'm saying, and basically took her out. So it was a lot of tension going on, especially in the Los Angeles area. You can make that whole argument about, you know, putting businesses in those type of areas, but then disrespecting the people that's patronizing your business. But the thing is, when this album first came out, they talked about that. This was already addressed. So now you got people trying to bring this up, but at the end of the day, from what I see, the deal is already that went through, and the NFL has no plans on, you know, pulling out of the deal. And the funny thing is, for the most part, agents don't even support the NFL. I done went to a lot of NFL games, and I don't see no agents at NFL games. I'm just keeping it 100. But I'm gonna tell you something. What I believe is the truth. I believe this has nothing to do with that song. I believe that they're using a song as a smokescreen just to complain about it. Because at the end of the day, whenever something specifically benefits blacks, then here come everybody, like, you know, coming out the cracks. You know what I'm saying? Hey, well, you know, what about, and the funny thing is, they basically said in some places that it's mandatory that you have to be taught, in some places, Asian history. But they put in law that in some places you're not allowed to teach black history. They call it critical race theory, which is a ridiculous terminology. The whole thing of saying that it's theory. Theory is saying that it may or may not didn't happen when it actually happened, when it's factual. But then you got people trying to change history and trying to alter history. You know. So that's the thing. But all it comes down to is, to me, this was something that benefited just strictly black people. Anything that strictly benefits black people, then here people come hollering about, oh, well, what about us? My thing is, what about you? They passed laws that strictly protected the Asian community. Okay? But like I said before, I don't think it has nothing to do with that song. They would have had something to say no matter what. Because nobody likes to see anything that strictly benefits black people, or where black people can benefit from something. And this is what black people get for sitting up here hollering this people of color and black and this people and black, because they don't do it with us. When they talk about immigration laws, they don't be talking about, you don't hear their representative talking about immigrants and blacks need to do, no, but blacks always got to extend the hamburger helper hand out and don't get nothing out of it. And then the funny thing is, we sit up here and go all out for people who don't even, for the most part, like us. And that's been our biggest problem. We got to stop being ashamed to say the word black, or say just us. I'm not saying no person of color. I'm not. And when I say I want to do something that specifically helps black people, I'm going to say it, and I'm not going to be made to feel guilty about it by non-blacks or blacks themselves. Black people always be letting people back them down and make them feel guilty, but nobody makes anybody else feel guilty. And it's funny that people bringing up a song that Ice Cube made over 30 years ago, but you just recently had them lying on black people, and it was proven that they was lying on black people based off surveillance cameras, and then them basically getting caught lying, saying that, oh, black people are out here attacking us. And then come to find out that that wasn't true. Or it was more to the story than meets the eye. That it just wasn't no random target. That they picked them because they was Asians. So, like I said, this is our problem. And we got to stop doing that. I'm not finna sit up here and say, well, black and this and black. No, I'm not. Because you don't never hear people say that pertaining to us. But like I said, whenever something happens that specifically benefits black people or could benefit black people, then here everybody come. Wagging their finger. No, like Matumbo and stuff. And even sometimes black people. Could y'all please stop, you know what I'm saying, being handkerchief heads? Could y'all please stop it with the buffoonery in the tap dancing? Could you please stop with the Gregory Hines stuff? Because it's really embarrassing. But yeah, they've been trying to, I just noticed that. They've been trying to come after Ice Cube for a minute now. Don't you remember his contract for Black America? When they tried to make it look like, oh, Ice Cube was working with Trump. And you know who was one of the ringleaders that tried that stuff? Goofball Roland Martin. And then when it came out that he said, hey, I gave the Democrats one too. And they basically said, hey, wait till after the election. And Ice Cube to this day still ain't heard from them. And then they tried to send women groups, goofy black women groups, out trying to accuse Ice Cube of being, you know what I'm saying, being anti-black woman and all this stuff. And I mean, come on, man. And saying he was hating on Kamala Harris. More fake outrage. You know? So I'm just peeping this stuff out. Like I said, this ain't got nothing to do with that damn song. It just got something to do with people being mad because at the end of the day, they don't want to see black people have anything. They don't want to see black people come up in no type of way, shape, or form. They don't want the playing field remotely evened up. So yeah, I'm just keeping it a buck. This just had to be said because at the end of the day, I get tired of this stuff. People trying to find reasons to, you know, complain about something. And like I said, the only reason why they got a problem with this because they see that this is something that black people specifically can benefit from. And not them. Like I said, black people, y'all gonna have to go back to checking these people, putting them in their place. We ain't got to, and this is just real talk, we ain't got the answer and we ain't got to clarify everything that we do. We don't have to justify. We don't have to give y'all an explanation about everything that goes on with us or what we trying to do for our community. We don't do that to y'all. Like I said before, everybody always be worried about what we doing. Everybody. Never seen no stuff like this in my life. Always, constantly worried about what black people is doing. They don't want black people to have shit. But yeah, shout out to Ice Cube, man. It's your boy Town Biz, man. I'm out.